Hi, I'm Ed Hitchcock, the owner of Taylor Tackle, and I'm here with Take Me Fishing to talk to you about fishing lures. As a beginner, picking out the right lure for the right fish is a challenge. You likely have a handful of lures in your tackle box, and you're not quite sure what they're used for. So today we're going to walk through the 5 most fundamental fishing lures out of the Taylor Tackle Freshwater Fishing Kit, and we're going to show you how to use them. The first lure you should always carry in your tackle box is the crankbait. The crankbait is a universal lure to target multiple game fish like bass, pike, walleye, and trout. And so a crankbait is essential to your arsenal because it mimics a wounded bait fish that will entice a strike from all predator species. They're best used when looking for fish, so be casting and retrieving through numerous areas of water to locate actively feeding fish. You can present the lure as a swimming bait fish by steadily retrieving it, or you can present it as a wounded bait fish by reeling it in 5 to 7 cranks, pausing, and then repeating. Next up are spoons. Spoons reflect light and vibrant colors to call in fish from afar. While larger spoons are used for aggressive fish like northern pike, smaller spoons are used for weary fish like rainbow trout. Both large and small spoons are fished with the same presentation. Just cast out and wait a few seconds for the spoon to sink. Reel in at a moderate to fast pace so the spoon swims above the weeds. Always keep the spoon moving in the water to reflect light and trigger a bite. Next up is a plastic worm. Plastic worms are your go-to for catching bass. Bass lurk in shady areas below docks, in weed beds, and under branches. Shady areas are tough to target without snagging your crankbait or your spoon. So plastic worms can be rigged weedless to target bass in these tough to reach places. Bounce your worm against the bottom if you're using a weight, or slowly swim it through the water column without a weight. If the worm is hooked weedless, your lure will stay appealing. Next up is a spinner. Use a spinner to catch trout in lakes, rivers, ponds, and streams. Trout are typically spread out and constantly swimming. Spinners call in roaming trout with a combination of vibration and light reflection. Expect to receive bites from perch and bass and panfish as most active fish respond to spinners. Simply cast and retrieve the lure at a gradual pace and let the spinner grab a trout's attention. Last but certainly not least, a grub on a jig is your go-to lure to catch fish of all sizes and species. The grub is a small enough profile to trick panfish, yet lively enough to entice a bite from bass and walleye. Start with natural colors like white to mimic a baitfish, black to mimic a leech, or brown to mimic a worm. Grubs are a great option for fishing off the dock or from shore. Bounce and swim the grub along the bottom. If there are fish around, you're almost guaranteed a strike. And that's how to use the 5 fundamental fishing lures. For more fishing tips, go to www.takemefishing.org. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more great fishing content.